Hey, gonna tie some glow bug eggs. Lots of videos out there on this. I've already done a couple, but I do them a lot and get a lot of questions about them. So this is the way I do it. There's lots of different ways. The keys are strong thread. I use Danville 210 and sharp scissors. I like the Anvil ones with the little curved tip. The ones I'm doing now are on a number 10. This is a 3X strong scud hook. So I get that in the vise, and I come in with the thread. Usually just kind of match the thread with the yarn. And I like to kind of put a bit of a thread base down. That I think that helps keep it from sliding around later on. So I like to use the glow bug yarn. This is the Steelhead Orange color, one of my favorites. For the size 10, I usually use a piece and a half. So what I mean by that is there's one piece, and then doubling up is a little bit too thick. I would use that on a number 8. So I just take one of them and basically split them in half like this, so that the thickness is 1.5 pieces. And for the little dot, if you notice, I like to do it so that there is a blood dot on each side. And to achieve that, I use just regular old craft yarn for the dot color. And on the number 10, I usually split this in half too. It's 4 strands. And I'll just place that and cut it off about as long as that piece of yarn. So this is enough to make a bunch of glow bugs here. So what I do is kind of keep that off color together, and then just kind of sandwich it between the 2 pieces of yarn so it's in the middle, kind of like that. And so what I do is I come in, I'll try to turn the rotary so you can see a little bit. But I lay it basically perpendicular to the hook, straight on top, and then I come in with a thread and I do 2 really tight wraps in the same direction across. So again, I'll try to turn it so you can see what I did there. I'll undo that. So kind of making an X across that way, and I'm never letting go of that tension. I'm pulling really hard. In fact, you should probably just try to break the thread and actually break it so you know how hard you can pull, and then pull almost that hard. And then I grab it by this side and I do 2 really tight ones the other way of the X. So I got 2 going and then 2 going across like that. Still never letting go of the tension, and then putting a few wraps, coming in with the whip finisher. I usually do 2 or 3 and then another 2 or 3 and then snip it off. And then I come in with my left hand and pull this up really tight, straight up like that. Sometimes I'll give it a pinch that way and straight up. And then you come and do kind of like a semicircle with it tight. And then just kind of fluff it out like that. And then you end up with a pretty solid ball all the way around with a blood dot on each side. So I'll do another one here. Don't have to do the dot. You can do 2 different colors of yarn. There's lots of different possibilities, but this is kind of my standard salmon egg looking orange with the red blood dot. 2 that way, 2 that way. A couple whip finishes. I used to glue these, but I find that a couple whip finishes keeps it plenty strong enough, then you don't have to deal with the glue and the smell and all that. Just like that.